Hey everyone, so I'm going to walk you through a recap of my recent trade. The trade closed not so long ago, actually today, and I've been requested for these in the past, and the purpose of this video will just be to show you the breakdown and go through the thinking behind the trade, especially if you missed the analysis video from this morning, right? So we'll just go straight through the actual trade execution and the analysis behind it itself. So let's get into it. Right, so you can see the result here. I targeted 3% because I always do for my data. 3% for some reason seems to be the point where price tends to reverse as well. I don't know why that is for me and my plan and how I trade. So here we are on the lower time frame. I'm just going to jump up to the higher time frame for a moment. We can see the daily. So here we are on the daily. Now, don't pay too much attention to the current daily candle because there's been a news announcement since. So previous day, bearish. We took plenty of buy side liquidity, filled a daily imbalance, right? Had a bearish previous day, and we have more daily POIs below and above on DXY as well, which may draw price. Obviously, we still have that SMC divergence from those previous lows here and this previous high to indicate that we may experience some sort of pullback on DXY for some strength. So that was the analysis over on the daily. So here on the 4 hour we was in a premium still of this large 4 hour leg, right? Previous day was bearish. Okay, on DXY we had pulled back down to this imbalance here, okay, which could provide us some support. So imbalance was filled as possible support. We had a possible new lower low just internally here from this high to this low here on the 4 hour, bit clearer on the 1 hour once we go down there. But we had also pulled up overnight and into Asia and filled our imbalance here on EU as well. So similar to the daily, right? We're just up in a premium. We had still taken those daily POIs previous day and that buy side liquidity, and then internal sell side liquidity yesterday to drive price lower. Pulled back today, and possible resistance around this region and possible support around this region on DXY. Okay, so there was a negative of that SMC divergence here where we didn't take out that internal high on DXY. Okay, so that was one of our negatives. Let's go down to the 1 hour now. So really where I framed the idea was here on the hourly, right? You can see where I've measured out this possible new bearish leg, right, where we swept internal buy side liquidity yesterday and we created that bearish push. Now we closed out as a sweep, which is something I don't like. I generally like new structure to show a lower low. So this is just a possible leg here where we create that lower low, but we had that SMC divergence again as a con with this sweep here, right? And we'd taken sell side liquidity from there. But now where that 4 hour imbalance was filled on EU, we also have this 1 hour order block, which is where price started consolidating over the Asia range and then into London. We swept up buy side liquidity, which we'll see clearly on the M15, and price broke down. Okay, so we had a resistance POI from today that price had respected and broke down from, signaling that this could be a weak low, right, to continue that bearish pressure from yesterday. And then of course on our inverse EU we had that 4 hour imbalance which showed us support, and we also swept that same sell side liquidity from the Asia lows and broke structure. So everything was looking good. We had some small weak points, but for me the 1 hour POI and then the classic sweep of internal sell side buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity on DXY with the break of structure, which we'll see on the lower time frame, was key to what I was looking for, just to take advantage of this opportunity. Okay, so I hope that's very clear. So now let's go down to the business time frame, the M15, where we framed this. So here we are on the M15. Let's go through the cons of this trade, the negatives. We had an M15 order block above, right, from yesterday, which broke structure. Okay, so we got a lot of momentum here. I believe it was a news announcement, left behind an order block, and then price correctively made its way back to it today. So there was the potential that this was the order block it was going to short from. However, luckily for me, it wasn't. Just to run that through there. So that was when I hit profit this morning into London, right? We came above these highs here, swept that buy side liquidity with this X and red line, and broke down, break of structure from this internal structural low here on the M15. Took the sell side liquidity from the low of Asia, right? But then pulled back correctively. So I wasn't too worried about this. You can see now when I'm talking in my analysis, this is what a corrective pullback would look like to me. The amount of candles here, which is 6 bars, so an hour and a half on the M15 to pull back versus 2 15-minute bars to break the structure, right? That's the difference between it. So very corrective with the pullback, spiked into the M15 order block here, right? My order was just below it because I like whole numbers, so I did it at 112.6. You would have my MT4 flashing up on the screen now just to confirm that order. And then price played out. You can see how I managed it. I went BE around this 1% point here, and then price played out. And then once we was near our take profit, I dropped my SL to just above a 5-minute high. I dropped it above this 5-minute high here, just in case price was failing to break this low here and was gonna pull back during the New York session. I didn't want to lose too much profit there and go up BE, so SL was moved above this internal high here. Luckily I didn't need it. We played out and took that 3%. So it played out lovely. It did take a while, it took about 4 hours. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and to have that win, right? You see this nice corrective price action, then price broke down. So let me know if there's anything I need to clarify there, but we'll go back through this. M15 order block, break of structure, sweep of internal buy side liquidity coming from a higher time frame 1 hour order block POI, okay, rejected, signaling possible weak low, broke down, pulled back, and then continued to break down to my profit target. I was expecting price to go to this previous daily low possibly. I know it is a Friday and there is some news in New York as outlined here, but I still kind of expected it just because of the way structure's going. I was wrong. So fortunately, for whatever reason, 3% target works for me. Price has done this. Okay, we can see price has gone crazy on that news announcement. I know there's someone from the Fed speaking, even though there's positive news for the dollar in terms of new homes. This is what happens, right? So my management stopped me from getting out BE. 3% worked out lovely. If I targeted more, would probably be fuming right now. So very grateful for that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Any feedback, please let me know in the comments. If you find these useful and want more of these, also let me know. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.